This video will demonstrate and give you a chance to practice creating a first decision path in the DBL software. Once you've entered the DBL software, named and described your decision model, you will see this page. Click the Problems option in the left panel. Click Create Problem. Copy and paste the problem, video link, image, or scenario you created in the previous activity here. Name the problem with the title of your choice here. Pause the video. Click Problems and then click Create Problem. Copy and paste your problem or scenario in the text box and name your problem. To create your first decision point, examine your outline and click New Decision. Type the first question or action from your outline. Then click Save. Click the plus sign the same number of times as you have options in your outline under this question. Since there are two options for this first question, we click the plus sign twice. Click on the first box option, click the Edit button, type your first option from your outline, and click Save. Click the next option box, type the option, click Save. Do this for as many options as you have for this question. Make a mental or written note of the condition in the problem that was met for this to be the correct answer. For example, the word significant signals that a condition has been met for this problem to be considered inferential and not descriptive. Pause the video. Create your first decision point in the software. Identify the condition in this specific problem that distinguishes the correct from the incorrect option. To continue, select the correct answer. The next New Decision button will appear. Click the button. Type the next question from your list in the text box. Click the plus sign the same number of times as you have options in your outline under this question. Type the options under your second question into the option boxes below. Once again, make a mental or written note of the condition in the problem that has been met for this to be the correct option. Pause the video and create your second decision point. Continue copying and pasting your questions and options into decision points in the software. With a condition met in the problem that suggests this is the correct answer. This next decision point, what is the dependent variable, is different from the other decision points we've seen so far. To answer this question, we need to find the word-for-word answer within the problem itself. Customer satisfaction is the dependent variable. We may be tempted to put this wording in the option below, like this, along with two incorrect options like a multiple choice question, like this. Here is the problem with doing it this way. Later, when we take a second problem through the decision model, like this one about tennis balls, none of these options highlighted in red apply. Nor for this future problem about antidepressants. There is nothing in these future problems about customer satisfaction, hotel location, nor monthly profit. Therefore, we need to use a different technique. What we will do is take these three options for the hotel chain problem and put them in the text box above as ABC options. We will also put ABC options in the decision point. So how do we do this? Well, first we click Adapt Problem. Notice an adaptivity column will appear to the left of the problem. Also, you'll notice that the question in the decision point is the same as the adaptivity marker. Type ABC options just above the problem in the text box. Then create your ABC options in the decision model by clicking the plus sign the number of times you have letter options. Then type letters in these decision point options. Randomly pick one of the options and type the correct answer in the upper panel text box. And add plausible wrong answers. Note, as a precaution, we encourage you to back up your adaptive changes in another document. The only time this can become an issue is when you make changes to your decision model in the future, with problems that have this adaptivity. We'll discuss this again in a later video. If interested, pause the video and practice creating a decision point with ABC options. To continue, click the correct answer, which in this case is option B. Click New Decision, and add the next question from the list. Notice these options are not relevant to this question. Therefore, to delete these options in the text box without deleting them from the prior decision point, click Adapt Problem. Notice the new adaptive marker that shows up in the Adaptivity panel that is the same as the question in the decision point. Delete the options in the problem editor by highlighting the ABC options and deleting them. To double check that the ABC options are still in the text box at the previous decision point, click the question mark to the far left of the screen. And notice that these ABC options do show up at this previous point. We will return to the next decision point by clicking on the correct option. And you'll notice the ABC options in the problem editor are gone for this next decision point where they're just not relevant. If applicable, pause the video and delete the ABC options for the next decision point. Moving on through your outline, locate the options from the list and add them as options to the decision point. Here is another ABC option decision point. Click the correct option. Pause the video and continue creating decision points until you reach your final question. We have arrived at the final decision point. This final decision point is both the purpose of your decision model and the learning outcome. Remember, the final question or action can be anything you want the students to do at the end of the pathway. As a reminder, here are our previous examples. In information literacy, the final question could be, how credible is the claim of this tertiary source? In a chemistry unit, a final action could be, balance the chemical equation. In an art course, a final question could be, what artistic movements influence this specific work of art? In a math lesson, a final action could be, solve algebraic word problems. Pause the video and locate your final question or action from your outline. You can use a variety of responses when students make their final decision or action. In this example, you can have them select an appropriate category, like which category of statistical method is appropriate for this research question. Then, we have 3 categories of statistical methods. Or, a short ABC answer like this one that asks, what is the p-value? With 3 multiple choice options. Or a longer ABC response like this. Which option above provides the most accurate description of the artistic movements that influence this work of art? Description A, B, or C above. You could also have them provide the answer in an open-ended format in another document, like this. Write your answer and reasoning behind your answer in an electronic document and upload it to the Learning Management System or the course website. Pause the video and create your final decision point in the software. In this example, based on the responses to all the previous questions, the correct answer is one-way ANOVA. Select the correct answer. In this final box, type something that signals to the students that they have completed this problem or scenario. You might type something like, click here to see how you did, or click here to see if the answer and your reasoning are correct. Pause the video and create an endpoint with a concluding statement. In order for students to receive feedback when they take a problem through the model, you will need to connect the problem with a correct pathway. Notice at this point, the problem is not associated or connected with a pathway or path. To associate it with a path, click Done. This new path box will appear. You might name your path after the endpoint for this problem, which in this example is one-way ANOVA. Or you could name it after every decision point in the pathway. Because of space limitations, we will have to abbreviate. I for inferential, CM for compare means, etc. Here is the abbreviated string that represents this path for all problems that go through it. Click Save. Notice that this blue box now has the name of the pathway for this problem. By clicking on the down arrow, you can remove the path if necessary. Pause the video and name the path for your problem or scenario. Now that your problem is named and your path is created, you are ready to save this problem or scenario. Your practice problem 1 is now in the problem bank, with this blue icon indicating that it is associated with a path. Here is what the student experience looks like. They read the problem, Read the question in the decision model below, select their answer, and continue, reading the questions and selecting the options until they arrive at the final answer. If they answer correctly, they'll see this message. When they reach the final correct answer, they'll click OK. The next video will show you how to create a second decision path on your way to completing your decision model.